Hi, I'm Nia Jackson from Arizona State University, reporting for Varsity Sports Show. I'm here with Coach Dave from ASU Club Baseball. Coach, what do you hope to see out of your key players today?
So coming off of yesterday where we had two tough losses, I'm really hoping that we can tighten up a few things. I don't think we're far off from competing with a team like this, but we need to tighten up a few things on defense and offensively. One of the things we didn't do well yesterday was executing. We left a lot of guys on base, and so if we're going to win today, we have to do those things well.
All right, and so going into the last game of the series, have you done anything differently preparing for this matchup?
So we've been working a lot in practice to make sure that we're ready for these situations, and today it's just really reinforcing all the things that we have been doing in practice and making sure that we're prioritizing those today.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you. I'm Nia Jackson from Arizona State University with Varsity Sports Show.
DJ Hunt. And behind home plate today, Michael Cohen. Ladies and gentlemen, the National
Welcoming, ladies and gentlemen, to Grand Canyon University for some club baseball. I'm Jesse Davis, and I'm joined with Marshall Brown. We have two great teams today, Marshall. Grand Canyon University taking on Arizona State University. Should be a great game. What are you looking forward to most in this matchup?
I'm excited for this matchup. It's two teams that have faced off every year. But this is a game too. Yesterday we saw both these teams match up, and you've got the scores of those games. Jesse, what did those games look like?
Yeah, so yesterday, as we know, Grand Canyon University beat ASU twice, the first game being 4-1 and the second game 10-7. And these teams, Marshall, have a rich history. We have on the backlog matchup history here. They've been playing since 2016, and GCU, fun fact, has won every series. ASU has yet to win a series against GCU dating back to 2016. So look for ASU to come out with some more intensity in this game as they lost both of their matches yesterday. And I think we're in for a real treat. Usually these games have been really close between these two clubs. They know each other very well. And sunny skies, or sunny out, clear blue sky, you can't ask for much more.
Yeah, it's beautiful out today. 63 degrees out here in Phoenix, Arizona. You were talking about these last matchups. This last year, ASU wins one. This is a constant thing that we've seen in the past matchups. They're only winning one game. GCU's taken two. The year before, ASU got swept completely. So GCU knows how to beat this team. They do it all the time. They do it in dominant fashion. This week, hopefully we see ASU come out and try to at least put a game together. They got starting pitcher David Zona out today, and Zona's played great all year. He's got 12 strikeouts. He's got a .75 ERA, a great pitcher. He's done well over the course of this season. One of their top guys. So we should see a good matchup here because a good pitcher makes a great deal of difference here in this sport.
Absolutely, I agree. I think getting off to a good start is crucial, especially those first 2, 3, 4 innings. It really is what's going to set the tone for this morning's matchup.
Absolutely.
Leading off the top of the first inning for ASU, the left fielder number 14, Mason Ford.
As the left fielder, Mason Ford, leads things off for the Sun Devils. An early strike.
Now Ford's played a good season as well too. He's their leading batting average right now at 545. That's incredible to hear for one.
Unreal. Early hit, rips it past the first base line. And Ford with the early single for the Sun Devils as they get on base here in the first inning. Good start for the Sun Devils. First couple innings, as I mentioned. Nice to get into the flow of the game. Couple hits.
Yeah, another
And
hit there for Ford too, straight into that right field line, bumps his batting average up a little bit. 7th hit of the year.
and
So
you were just saying his batting average. But I really do think this game is going to be coming down to pitching and how well these guys are able to execute.
one thing I will say with a left-handed pitcher, so Ford is a very quick player. He's in left field. He's got speed. The one thing I will say with a left-handed pitcher, you're going to see just a little bit less amount of those steal attempts. And if he does go, he's going to go right on the lift of that leg. So it'll be interesting to see if he does try to go for that steal attempt.
And a pop up there. It's going to settle. Oh, and it's dropped by Grand Canyon University as ASU will now have 2 runners on board. No outs here in the first inning. Bit of a miscommunication there, Marshall, out in left field.
Miscommunication, and that's the basis of this game. The fundamentals is what you have to get down. If you got shortstop and left field coming in together in that shallow left, it's a ball that needs to be called, and somebody's got to figure it out. That's usually your left fielder that's going to come in on that, but it's just not happening right there for sure.
As a early bunt attempt from the Sun Devils.
And I think that's just right here trying to get a little bit of movement on the bases. You're trying to put two runners in scoring position. If you can get a guy at second and third, with the middle of your lineup coming up, it could be a great opportunity for the Sun Devils.
Definitely causing havoc on the mound early. It's a good start. So we see a ball. And if you're the Lopes, Grand Canyon University, obviously wanting to get out of this inning clean. Talked about the importance of getting off to a good start and look for a potential double play here. Ball's hit out to right field and it's caught. That'll be the first out for the Lopes.
But it works in the favor of the Sun Devils there. That's one of those that you put as a sac fly. You have a guy on second that needs to get in that spot on third to make it an easy play at home, and he gets them there. So it's really good for the Sun Devils to get a guy in that position.
And how important is it for Crew Cascais for Grand Canyon to get that first out? As a pitcher, you already have a couple runners on board here in the top of the first. How important is it to get the first out like that?
Oh, it's extremely important. The whole pitching mindset, it's all confidence. You're playing this game. If you're not confident on the mound, you're not playing the game right, and you're not going to be the pitcher that you want to be up there on the mound. So it's extremely important. But also, Crew Cascais, he's coming in. He hasn't been necessarily the guy for GCU. He has a 2.08 ERA with only 4 strikeouts on the season. But he hasn't pitched just a dominant amount. So it will be interesting to see him try to get something going.
So we see a ball ripped into center field. It's caught for the second out. Throws to home. And the Sun Devils are safe, earning their first run of the game.
And we're seeing a lot of contact there on Cascais. It's every single player that's came up today has gotten contact off him. And that sac fly to center field will get a runner in to score, and ASU will start with the lead, which is something we haven't seen lately. ASU hasn't been a lead dominant team against GCU, so it is a good outlook if you're on the Sun Devil side.
And nice job there from second base / first baseman Vince Matty, popping one out to center, gets caught, but he gets a runner in as this one's flown deep out into center field. Here come the Sun Devils. More runs upcoming as they will score once again. Now pushing their lead to 2 here. The top of the first with 2 outs.
Yeah, double there by Alex Del Pizzo will score the brother, Andrew Del Pizzo, who was on second there. So, ASU going up 2 runs now is not something you would have expected to see, but a beautiful shot there out to deep left center. So a great shot there from Del Pizzo to score his brother.
And we've seen the Sun Devils, Marshall, now very active with the bats, striking good contact early.
Absolutely.
We'll see a ball.
And I think this is a scary thing to see too if you're on GCU side. ASU getting off to this hot start, especially being this confident in the batter's box and timing this pitcher down so early in all this contact. I don't see if this is how it continues, this won't be a long stint on the mound for Cascais.
Yeah, I agree. I think for Crew Cascais, getting out of this inning is the biggest priority right now. Obviously not the start that you wanted, but if you can get out with a runner on second right here, that would be the best play. We'll see another ball pushing the count 2-1.
The big he's looking for a hitter's count here, so he's got opportunity. Pitcher's gonna put it in there either this pitch or the next one, so he's gonna be able to have contact if he wants it.
There's a strike. 2-2.
That fastball from Cascais just hit the rider, hit the left side of the batter's box there, so it's gets in for a strike.
And Marshall, how important is it to establish a strike zone early as a pitcher to get that confidence? As we see the Lopes get out of the first inning,
For the Sun Devils,
Sun Devils now lead 2-0, going down to the bottom of the first. But yeah, how important is it to establish a strike zone as a pitcher and feel confident throwing all your pitches?
I think that is extremely important. A lot of the time too, it's going to depend on your umpire. You got to figure out where the range of this umpire is. Some umpires have a larger box. Some are very narrow. So you have to figure out what you're going to get called and what you're not going to get called. And Cascais there, I think he's finding it. That last at bat is where he's hitting the outside corners a little bit more, and he was finding more of the strike zone where he's going to be given and what is more lenient. So it was not the start that Cascais really wanted. 2 runs in the first isn't necessarily benefiting the Lopes. That's obvious, but it's more room for opportunity because you find your strike zone. All it takes is one good inning. If he
Yeah,
comes out next inning and he finds his confidence, it will just keep rolling from there.
absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I think now if you're the Lopes, it's getting a couple hits of your own here in the bottom of the first, trying to grab some of that momentum back and tie things up, not take the lead. As you mentioned, David Zona will lead things off pitching for the Sun Devils, the junior from Las Vegas, Nevada. As we head to the bottom of the first. And what a beautiful day for baseball.
It really is. Arizona. I mean, you're still in your winter months in a lot of states. You're wrapping up on your winter, and here in Arizona, we're hitting 90 days. It's getting hot. People are out tanning. We're getting good UV rays.
Yeah.
So it's nice out here. It's beautiful morning for baseball. We're still ranging mid 60s. It's you can't ask for a lot more if you're playing on the diamond today.
And number 13, Santiago Zuniga will lead things off for GCU. The senior from Guadalajara, Mexico. Shortstop slash right-handed pitcher.
The shortstop, number 13.
ASU got up hot for their first half inning, so if you're GCU, you're looking to do the same thing. You can't let them establish a lead early and keep pushing it even further.
Early rip there from Zuniga and good contact.
He's pulling that third base line, and he almost got it there. It was right sitting on the line. If it bounces right over the top of that third base, he's getting 2 or 3 because he's got speed. That's for sure.
As he'll take an early strike. Here comes the 1-1. Another ball.
I think this is the pitcher trying to establish the strike zone too. So he just hit the outside of the plate and then the inside of the plate, second, third pitch. So it's more of him trying to range what he can get and what he can't. And obviously those are two that were very far on the outsides, but he's finding it.
And at this age, what do you think are the most common pitches that you will see? Obviously, you have your fastball, your four seam, two seam, um, can do a lot of damage. What pitches are you looking for?
Yeah, most of your pitchers at this age have a good range of around 3 to 4 pitches that they really rely on. There's one or two that they're going to say are their pitches. You'll see the fastball. That's obvious. You're going to see that one a lot. Changeup is going to be your common off speed as well as the curveball. And some pitchers have a really good slider, and that one's going to come right into you there. So it'll be interesting to see what we got here from Zoma though.
Full count, and Zuniga will take the walk for the Lopes as they get their first man on board here.
Back second, the second baseman, number 5, Nathan Fernandez.
Number 5, Nathan Fernandez up next. The junior shortstop from Huntington Beach, California.
Fernando himself too has had a great season, 15 hits, a 375 batting average, and he's a great player and beneficial on this Lopes team.
Yeah, he leads so we're going to see an attempted stolen base. Successful. Nice work there from Zuniga.
And Zuniga didn't want to go there necessarily. He got his secondary lead. He was out there and he was looking for that bunt to get down, but he got stuck in the middle. So he had to make a choice. And the choice he made was to go to second. He was going to try to get it, and he does have the speed, and he knew that he could get there, and he ended up doing it.
Yeah, it was close. I think there was a little bit faster of a throw. Might have had a chance to get him, but credit to him for being aggressive and getting that early stolen base.
A little offline too. Osborne is the catcher.
So nice rip there. Heads out to left and center and is caught.
But keep the runner at second too. On the left field side, you're not going to see a lot of runners taking that guess from second, trying to go, because it's a shorter throw from left to third than it is, say, right, that we saw earlier today.
And that was better communication we saw, We had the same kind of similar play for the Sun Devils.
Yeah.
For Grand Canyon, turned into a drop. So good communication there. And Nathan Fernandez leads the team in runs scored with 11. Fun fact there. We'll see another bunt attempt.
Samuel Ott is up to bat here, and Samuel Ott is one of the beneficial players on this team too. He has one of the home runs on this team. There's only a few, and he's one of those guys, and he's got a lot of power to him. He can get a lot of movement in those hips, and he turns on the ball really well.
Yeah, Sam Ott leads the team in hits and RBIs. He's got 16 hits on the season, go along with 10 ribbies. A lot of power, as you mentioned, with that swing.
And Zona's going to find a strike there on the outside. He got a little lenient strike there too. It was a little far in the box, but he's going to find it.
As Ott takes a rip. The count now 1-2 for Zona.
This is a count 2 for Zona. You're looking. This is a pitcher's count. We've seen a lot of hitters count when ASU was playing. It was a lot of 2 balls, no strikes, 3-1 counts. We're finding those. This is a pitcher's count. So if you're looking to find your off speed, and you were talking about off speed earlier at different pitches, this is where we're going to see the abundance of his pitches that he has and what he's gonna get going.
Another ball there from Zona. The count 2-2. And now it's not a force, but you would like to get these two guys out. If he does hit one into the middle of the field, it's able to be played either by the shortstop or third baseman. So we'll see another ball. The count full now, 3-2 for Zona.
So we were just in that pitcher's count, and now we're in the payoff pitch. It's 3-2 count. The count's full. He doesn't have a whole ton of opportunity. He's either got to find his pitch, get the ones that he likes. If he's not finding the off speed, he's got to go back to his fastball here.
We'll see a ball in the Sun Devils dugout. Not a fan of that one.
Yeah, well, that's I think what they're saying there too is that was the pitch that we saw that we got a call on earlier this bat. So this at bat he got that call, and now the same pitch comes and he didn't. So it's a little inconsistency from the umpires that are getting on the nerves of the ASU dugout over there.
Right, as Braden Coloma is up to bat for Grand Canyon University, and Marshall 3-2 count as a hitter. What's the mindset there?
Yeah, two strikes in general, you have kind of the same mindset, and it depends on the player, but a lot of the time you're going to choke up on the bat just a little bit. You got to have a little bit quicker hands because at this point, you're not going for the power hit. You're not trying to wind up into
Trying to make
something.
contact.
You need to make contact, and you got to find the pitches that you like. If it's anywhere near the zone, you got to be going at it.
Certainly. See a swing there from Coloma.
And I think that's where we saw that curveball come in too. We're talking about those off-seeds pitches, and he found that and it fell off of the outside corner of the plate.
And I think vice versa as a pitcher, as you mentioned, you want to have your most confident pitch in a full count, something that you know you can go to and it's there. And Zona did that. Looked like a pretty good pitch, but like we talked about, didn't get the strike call and a walk for Ott.
We got Coloma up now, and he's got two runners. He's got two players on base here, and Coloma is their power guy. This is the one that if you're going to find something deep to score a couple guys, he's going to be the one to do it.
And you would like to see a double play here, maybe a little grounder.
Yeah,
we have
force outs on all the plates out there, so wherever the ball goes, there's an opportunity for two.
It's the count now, 2-2. Everyone's just hanging out for a sec. Zona will get the pitch. And away is the 2-2. One gets popped up high by Coloma.
Yeah, I think Zona stepped off there too right before. The runners maybe getting in his head a little bit. We got Olsen out there, and Zuniga, he's sitting there on second base, and he's jumping around a lot. He's trying to get the pitcher to act up, get in his head a little bit.
Nice swing there from Coloma. As the referee has his hands in the air. Not sure if this one's going to count. I think they're going to bring it back.
Yeah, it looks like they're calling it dead. I don't know if it's catcher's interference that he's seeing because they're.
Umpire looked like he had his hands in the air before. So a little bit of confusion right now. Not really sure what's going on. Looks like they're talking about it.
Yeah, it seems like all over the field they're just all in a common confusion too. It's not one, there's some people that are trying to play and some people
Nobody
that are
knows what's
it.
going on.
It's a lot of malarkey out there.
As he will now deliver the penalty.
So I think what we got called there was balk.
Okay.
So it was a pitcher's balk, and that's going to move the runners.
That's what it I wasn't sure. It did, take a couple seconds, and then he released it, and everyone kind of stopped for a sec.
Yeah. So what they're saying is he didn't come fully set is the thing. So as a pitcher, there's a couple things that can get you a balk. It's always just kind of the weird things. If you're doing something unorthodox in your pitching windup, then that's what can get you going. And going from the stretch here, you have to come completely set, and he just didn't do that.
And another way is if you don't release it, obviously.
Yeah,
you go through and you kind of fall back trying to get a guy out on a base.
Yep. But that's going to move both these runners into scoring position. So it's a big opportunity here if you're the Lopes. You got one out, no force now on the field. So you're not really in that double play situation where you're afraid of hitting the ball up through the middle. You got full range of the field here, and and this is your power guy, so you have a sac fly up opportunity too. So if you're going to hit it out there, might as well give it a shot now because you got 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for Grand Canyon to get some runs on the board and take the lead, or at least potentially tie this game here in the bottom of the first. As we are still at 1 out. This time the count's full for Zona. Here comes the 3-2. And it's ripped on by Coloma. This one's going to be foul. And he stays alive.
Stay in the same situation too. You know, you don't lose anything there hitting a foul ball. You want to honestly, you want to hit as many as you can. You want to make this pitcher tire out and give you the pitch that you really want. Like if you're a pitcher, you're gonna throw a strike here. So it's what you really want now. But the strike isn't what he got.
And some other words exchanged from the Sun Devils dugout as they didn't get the call on that one either. And Coloma will head to first. Bases loaded here, Marshall.
And I don't think the Sun Devils dugout was necessarily right on that one. You know, last bat is one that we saw that could have been called. It had been called. That was a low ball there, and it's definitely, you know, what we see here now too in these spring training games too is we're seeing the challenge. The challenge come for the batters. You don't have that here. There's no challenges. You know, you gotta rely on the ump.
That's
And I think
right.
the umpire there, it was a good call. I think it is a ball, but it will load up the bases and an even greater opportunity for the Lobes.
Early rip there from Mannington, the junior first baseman from Aloha, Hawaii.
And we were just talking about home runs, how this Lopes team doesn't have very many. Mannington is leading. So he's got 2 home runs. There's 2 other players on this team that have 1, but he's the guy that can send it there. You know, you're in the 4 or 5 position in your lineup too. So these are your power hitter guys, and he's got a big opportunity with bases loaded.
And Marshall, this situation with the bases loaded, it not only puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher, but I think the entire infield, as they have to be active and aware of where they need the out to go. You know, as you mentioned, it's all force, but this is a pressure situation for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, but it's also something they can look forward to. You know, you have 1 out in this inning, and you have a chance to get off of the field with the double play. You know, if a ball gets hit up the middle, you can easily roll it. You hit a 6-4-1, 6-4-3 double play could end the inning and get this pitcher out of a really sticky situation.
That is true, as Mannington will foul off another one. Count stays at 1-2.
So now a pitcher here, you have an opportunity to send a little off speed, but you also want to be careful and don't want to throw something a little too low that's going to go, you know, back behind the catcher and, you know, put in an opportunity for a runner to score off a pass ball.
Ball from Zona. Count moves up to 2-2. Mannington just looking to put the ball in play. Get one of his guys in to score.
That was a good stop there too by Osborne behind the plate. You know, this is the time of the game when you have runner positions, you have to put your body on the line. You know, if you have a guy on second and third, you can't just be letting a ball bounce through you or under you. So you got to be dropping and making sure that that ball's hitting your chest, hitting your plates. You know, you can't let that free run come in.
Nice rip there from Mannington. Out to deep right. It's going to find a way as Grand Canyon will get on the board. And another run, as that's 3. And they will take the lead 3-2 in the bottom of the first. Nice rip there, Marshall, from Mannington. Just like I talked about, putting it in play. Hits a liner out to deep right field and gets his team on the board.
Yeah, it really was. And there was an opportunity, you know, for a catch there. It seemed like the wrong line of intent if you're looking at that ball out there and right. But it really was. You know, you had an opportunity for the Lopes, and, you know, Koa Mannington found that hole and he found that ball that he wanted to and sent it in the spot that's gonna put it deep in the field. As you know, that outfield's real deep there, and it's gonna allow those runners to come in.
And still lots of time left. Um, if your Sun Devils head coach Dave Lovchekio, how long before this kind of turns into a sticky situation with Zona?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is you put points on the board. You know, you have runs on the board. You put two up in your first half inning, so he's got a little bit of lenience there. It's not necessarily that he's, it's more of now a 0-0 game too, right? So it's opportunities and it's the same thing that we just said with GCU. That foul ball comes back towards us. But same kind of deal as GCU. I mean, you have one inning. It's the first inning. You got to find your pitches. You got to find the zone. You got to be confident as a pitcher, and it takes one more inning after this to find your confidence. And if it's a 1, 2, 3 inning, this he could continue throughout an entire game if he decides that that he's got to lock in.
Absolutely. As we have a 2-1 here from Zona. Nice pitch there. A strike. Brings it up to 2-2.
He's going to catch that inside strike zone there. It looked like GCU, we got a little crowding in the plate, but he got a little jammed. So it's nice to see a pitch come in like that if you're Zona.
Nice rip there from Steenson. Getting good contact. Just a little bit late. Still at 1 out.
Yeah, but you also have runners here in four situations with an opportunity for two, and
There
that
we
one
go. Ripped
does have
into
an
the
opportunity.
infield. Nice play there. They don't get the second play, but they get the out on second.
Yeah, I think it was just a little slow transition, but it was, that's what they wanted. That's the ball. If you're a middle infielder, that's what you're looking
Batting
for. You have
center,
the
the
opportunity.
left
It
fielder,
was a, it was a
number
quicker ball.
24,
And
Kane
nice job there from Alex Quintero, flipping it over to second. It was the right idea, just wasn't fast enough to get the out at first, but nice job from Grand Canyon. Now at 2 outs. Zona looking for the third to get out of this inning. Seeing a lot of live bats here so far, Marshall, in this game to start. A lot of hits
Really
and
is
good contact. It's been
a
fun
whole
to
lot of
watch.
contact, whole lot of contact, and actually just right there, it was almost another balk is what they were looking at.
And a nice steal there for Grand Canyon.
And Grand Canyon's made a lot of progress through their lineup too. They've gotten deep in. They're going. This is their Rogers is now up, and it's their seventh hitter in their lineup. So if you keep it rolling, you have an opportunity to go all the way through your lineup in the first inning.
And now that's a couple stolen bases for Grand Canyon. How much as a pitcher are you cognizant of base runners like that?
Oh yeah, you have to be. I mean, a lot of time you see a lot of pickoff attempts. You got to step off. Maybe switch up your timing as a pitcher because you don't want them to find it. Because if they find your timing and they find your rhythm, it makes it a lot easier to steal a base because you can, if it's a little twitch in their leg right before he picks it up, like if he's going the same, 3 seconds before he raises his leg, then they know and they can get an early jump on it. And they're finding these things. Two stolen bases now for the Lopes.
That's great insight. And we see Rogers take a walk as we'll once again Marshall have, or
Yeah, it
this is
looks
a
like
full
that.
count.
It looks like that outside ball. He was looking to be a walk, but I guess what the umpire is saying is it hit that strike zone. So it was that outside strike zone, just that he did not see there. And he did go, although it was inside.
Wow.
That's one of the things too. It was
Yes.
inside, but he turns around to try to avoid contact and ends up his back gets across the plate.
ASU does get out of the inning, only surrendering the two
And I think that's good
runs.
too. I mean, it's now a 0-0 game. We're not going into the second inning with any lead. So both these pitchers are kind of in the same position. Although you might have gone out this first inning and had some struggles, haven't been able to do some things right that you wanted to do, you now have an opportunity to be the pitcher you want to be, because this is now an even playing field again.
Yeah, and good job by Zona working through that adversity and finding a way to get his team out of that inning. And really nice pitching down the stretch there. Had a couple strikes.
Yeah.
Even that last one still hit the zone, got a swing.
Yeah, and that pitch there too by Zona, that is our first strikeout of the inning too. So it was, we had a lot of contacts. We saw
A lot of hits.
Yeah, there was a lot of hits. So we're seeing the ball get put into play, which is great if you're an offensive team. See, both of these sides are seeing exactly what they want to see. And that just means that it'll be an explosive game, because if they're already finding the timing of this pitcher right now, then it means even more further down the line.
You guys know what happened on that, right?
His crew, Cascais, will come out again for the Lopes.
Now, Jesse, who do we have on the field today for the Lopes?
On the field, we have we have
Leading off the top of the second inning for the Sun Devils, the designated hitter number 16, Thomas Christensen.
So we got Casillas at pitch. We got Ekstrom behind the plate. We got Manatine over at first. Fernandez at second. Ott will be your third baseman. Zuniga is going to be our shortstop. Rogers in left. Stinson in center. And then Martinez will be our right fielder out here for the Lopes today. Forgot that I had the lineup when I asked that question.
yeah. Cascais with the 2-0 count. It's a nice strike in there in the middle. Good fastball.
Yeah, right over the middle of the plate, and that's going to be an easy one to call. We've been talking about those ones that have been on the outer side that we've seen miss a little bit of judgment from both dugouts. But that's a pitch that's going to be called every time.
It's another good strike from Cascais. 2-2 count.
And Cascade is now finding rhythm. 2 straight strikes. If he can find something here, it'd be very beneficial, and he's going to get it.
There's his first strikeout.
3 straight strikes, and we just talked about that confidence and finding confidence, and now he has gotten that strikeout that he wanted. And he's going to find it swinging too. We've seen contact.
That was a nice job. Came out, was aggressive, knew what pitches he was going to go to, and got the job done. Easy out for the Lopes. Another strike for Cascais, and he's finding a groove here.
Yeah, and if you're McAloon here, you can't let this pitcher find his rhythm too. You've got to get contact on the field, and then he's got to try to get something going. That was a good pitch there too by Cascais. He's finding that outer edge of the plate. That's a hard pitch to get to if you're a hitter. If you like to turn on the ball and you're a very power guy, those are going to be ones that you're going to be a little slow to get at.
McAloon will take that. The 2-1 count. Game tied 2-2, and Sun Devils looking to take the lead.
Good pitch too, but he's going to say it's a little low and outside. he's finding those corners and he's trying to hit the edges of the plate and get the strike zone that he likes. I think it's just a little bit of adjustment, and he'll be right where he wants.
He gets a strike there. Good pitch from Cascais. He's got the full count.
Full count, big payoff pitch on the way.
See what he goes with. 3-2 on the way. Strikeout. Second out of the inning for the Lopes.
Now 2 straight strikeouts there.
Cascais is in a groove here.
Batting ninth,
Finding
He
his
really
pitches
is.
in the middle.
number
Got that fastball.
He only had 4 Ks on the season, and he's already got half of that today. 2 in just the second inning, too.
Nice rip there from Connor Pollock, the junior from Las Vegas, Nevada.
The order for the Sun Devils, left fielder number
Yeah,
14.
Good
go
job
right
getting
through
on
the hole.
base.
It's going to go right through the hole of shortstop and third base. If you're a hitter, if you're an on-base hitter too, those are the pitches that you're looking for. You're trying to find the holes. If you're going center of the field, through the middle infielders, if you're going through first and second, you're trying to get those on the ground line drives through those infield holes.
Mason Ford up to bat for the Sun Devils. Cascais tries to go to first.
And we were saying there, talking about earlier, those being worried about a runner, being worried about a guy stealing. And that's what you got to do. You got to check on them. You got to make sure that they're not getting too comfortable over there and, willing to go. So a couple times you got to go back at them.
Absolutely. Cascais will get another strike.
A beautiful pitch out of the stretch there too. And he was looking at Pollock there on first for a while before he turned his head and went towards the plate.
He looks very comfortable here in the second inning. Compared to the first, looks like he has a lot better command of his pitches.
But we are back to the top. So this is one thing that these players, we're back to the top of the lineup, Ford here. These guys have been through the lineup once. And the top of the lineup are the guys that had already found the contact.
Wow, that one was close. It's the top of the mesh. But yes, as you just said, top of the lineup, that's where your money makers are. Always got to be aware of who's at bat. 0-2.
And Ford, too, earlier this game, his first at bat, he did get a base hit right about where he just hit it there, too. He as a left-handed hitter, he pulled the last one through that infield line between first and second and got it out to right field. So, he's one of those on-base hitters. We talk about on-base, we talk about power hitters. He's one of those guys that wants contact. He's got the speed. If he puts a ball in play, he has an opportunity to get on first no matter where it is.
And it was a nice swing by Ford there. Choked down a little bit on the bat. Maybe got a little bit too much of it. Drew it foul, but a nice swing and good contact. As he's fighting in this at bat, count at 1-2.
And he's got to battle back here. You go down 2 strikes. Although it was on foul balls, he did put it into play on the outside. But it's, now you're in that position where you're swinging at anything that's close.
Popped up by Ford. That's easily fielded
Yeah,
for the Lopes as they get out of the inning.
routine infield fly there, but those are the ones that get difficult too. Infield you work on a lot. You work on a lot of those infield grounders. You get thousands of balls. You're practicing that all day. But the ones that you don't get as much are going to be those infield pop flies, and those have often some weird spins. Those are the batters getting a little bit under the ball. They're finding a different angle on the ball than it would be for an outfielder. As an outfielder, you're just going to see that ball and it's going to stay on the same path, and you're going to know the line off the bat.
And how important is it to not only track the ball, have good communication? You talked about the reps that these players have. When you see a fly ball, the importance of tracking it and knowing where you are on the field in relation to the speed and height which it's coming at.
Yeah, I mean it's I think you do it so much in practice, and it gets to be a
Routine.
fundamental and a routine. So it's really often that you're not thinking about it a lot. You know, you'll be running. Let's say a third baseman's got it. A third baseman gets popped up on in foul territory on that third base side, and he's running over there, and he'll have a feel like he knows that he is getting close to a wall. He knows that he's getting in certain areas. So that's kind of times that you know when to back off too. Like if you're running towards that ball and it's high and you know it's going to be out of bounds, you know it's going to go foul, then you're going to back off a little bit. But it's also on those infield ones. The big thing is communication because this in the infield you're going to see a pop ball and it might be high and every single player in the infield could possibly have a chance at it. You know, anybody could get there, but it's a lot of communication that needs to be done so it's not four people in the same spot that are trying to go for the same exact ball.
For sure. Yep. Communication is definitely
Leading
of
off
the utmost
the
importance.
second inning from Grand Canyon University, the right fielder, number 21, Frankie Martinez.
David Zona back on the mound for the Sun Devils. Start the bottom of the second here. So we're going to have a little stoppage to talk things over. And what have you liked so far, Marshall, from both of these teams? We got a 2-2 game.
You know, first inning, I love the offensive firepower. You know, we have both teams that are hitting the ball well, they're getting contact, finding holes. It shows confidence as hitters. You know, you're going towards these balls knowing that you can do it. But what I do like here, second inning, man, Cascais came out. You know, he came out, and although the first inning wasn't how he expected it to be, wasn't how he was hoping for, you know, those two runs come in. You know, he found his groove. You know, two strikeouts and finds his way out of an inning, and it was exactly what you need if you're GCU.
And talking about the trust that these players and coaches have, of course, for GCU, led by head coach Rich Warnell, and the Sun Devils, led by head coach Dave Lavecchio. How it's important to have that trust, knowing that your coach is going to put you back in, even if you had maybe not the best start that you would like to collectively as a team. It's important to know that you're going to go back to your guy, give him another chance, and let things play out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a coach, you're gonna have confidence in these guys. You know, even though the first inning they're pitching to guys that are finding barrel, that are getting barrel on the bat, that are, you know, they're getting the ball where they wanted it to be. um, as a coach, you know that your pitchers can do what they went out there to do. You're not going to send them out there if you don't have confidence in them. You know,
Certainly, yeah.
so in this second inning, even though they might have had a little bit of a fall off in the first inning, you can send them out there knowing that just as Cascais did, Zoma could do, right? So he's going to come out here, and we could easily see a 1-2-3 inning, three strikeouts. You know, so it could be quick.
And that's kind of what we saw from Cascais in the top of the second there.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 up, 3 down.
Still a little stoppage on the field.
We have the umpire exchanging pleasantries. Just kind of hanging out. What a great day.
It really is. It's even out there, it's a tie game. You know, all these guys are having a good time. You know, it's just such a beautiful day to be playing baseball. You know, it's a beautiful field here at GCU. You know, they're playing. The thing is, too, a lot of these club guys, you know, you're not playing on stellar fields all the time. You're going you're going to some dirt patches, right? And now they get an opportunity to play here at GCU's D1 facility. You know, a team that's done insanely well, and takes care of their facility insanely well. So it's you're both of these teams coming out here, and you're just excited to be here.
And I think that speaks volumes of just how great of a program GCU has with their club sports, having the resources and the facilities that they do. This field is, as you mentioned, really nice and great for these players to have the opportunity to play the game they love in front of friends and family.
I totally agree, and I think that GCU does club sports extremely well. You know, they're just finishing up with basketball too. And a lot of the time, you know, schools use their club teams as just a little extracurricular activity for some of these students and student athletes that want to play and didn't, you know, they played in high school and they want to get back at it and have fun with the game they played. GCU kind of uses it too in a little bit of a farm system. You know, a lot of like the girls basketball players, you know, they've got 3 teams and they're rotating through those teams and you have college looks like you have players and coaches that are coming out there and looking. So GCU does extremely well, you know, working with these players and giving them the opportunities to get outlooks that they want.
And that gives them the advantage, right,
Absolutely.
over a college or university that maybe doesn't invest that much into club sports, gives them that step ahead of other programs, which is always
100%.
nice.
As we find our way back here to the bottom of the second.
Pitch outside there from Zona, the first ball.
Yeah, I think Martinez too, almost you can kind of some of those too you kind of lean into. Like if that ball's inside, you don't really like leaning into a lot, but it's, you know, a little slight turn of the shoulder um, can get you on base.
Definitely. And that's their main objective. Ball to bat. Has a nice rip there from Martinez. Deep left field. Good grab.
Oh,
GCU gets the first, or pardon me, the Sun Devils get the first out of the inning.
a great catch out there though. You know, Del Pizzo out there in left field. You know, he tracked that ball and a little jump and catch out there too. You know, we saw it coming through the air and he's getting out there and a lot of speed to that. We were talking about him earlier, Del Pizzo when he was on first, you know, having to worry about that speed and we see that speed as he gets to that ball.
Yeah, it was a great play. Good job tracking the ball and saw it in. Little foul ball on the roof.
Yeah, coming right at us there.
Zach Ekstrom up the bat for the Lopes.
The bottom of the lineup for the Lopes too. You get on base here, you're gonna have these. You have your starting, the very front of your lineup coming up that did very well against Zona earlier.
The 0-2 from Zona. Job fighting that one off.
Good contact there though. He does find the barrel, but it's just gonna go outside. But it's gonna now put him in a difficult situation. You're gonna have to battle back because you're down 0-2. Another
Good contact
fastball.
from Ekstrom. Pulled it to the right. So he's fighting in this one.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. We were talking about 2 strikes. You're going up with a different approach. You know, see, we're seeing him choke up a little bit on that bat. You're just kind of chopping at it. You know, you're finding the ones that you don't want chopping it and getting out of bounds, but the ones you do like are the ones that you're gonna try to swing on.
Ekstrom, another foul, this time to the left. Staying in this at bat.
And that's 4 straight balls he's gotten contact on. So he's timed the pitcher up. It's just maybe not the pitches that he's looking for.
The 0-2 from Zona. Another rip from Ekstrom.
Ooh.
And safe as it is dropped by Mason Ford.
Yeah, you know, McAloon there over on third, he got the opportunity, but it was just a little low of a throw. But I mean, even if you're ASU at first, you gotta get those short hop ones. You know, those are the ones that get difficult that you can't just trap it. You know, because if you trap it, the ball's gonna stay on the dirt and you're not gonna get in your glove there. But you gotta get under it and really through it.
Yeah, it's a tough play. At first there, tracking the ball from third. Would have liked to gotten the out, but still in a good spot here. 1 out
But
with
yeah,
only one
you're
runner on first.
top of the lineup here for GCU. Suniga back up, and it's, you know, another chance to put some runs on the board if you're GCU. I think this too. Zona's got to find confidence. You can't just let a runner get on and lose it all. You know, you have to lock in, be the same pitcher that you know you can be, and go at the batter with intent.
Good rip there. Down the middle. It's caught by the center fielder as the Sun Devils get the second out there.
Second baseman, number 5.
A good barreled ball there. He got a nice little pop on that bat, but it's obviously you're hitting in that situation. It's just kind of where you're going. Like that's gonna go directly to a center fielder.
Nice job there from Connor Palak. Watching that one in. Makes the routine play.
He's got another chance
Ripped
for
up the
one here.
middle. That one's going to drop for Nathan Fernandez. He gets on board. Now the Lopes have 2 runners on base at first and second with 2 outs.
Third baseman.
And Fernandez to be happy on, but I don't think that's the hit he wanted. You know, he's sitting there on first, and I think he got jammed up a little bit. And that ball didn't go as far as he wants, but ends up working out and goes a little blooper in between short, left, and center. And it's kind of just in that middle ground where nobody's going to get to it no matter how quick they are.
Yeah, it's one of those plays that goes to a pocket in between your center and left fielder. It's a lot of space to make up. Outside for ball 1.
If you're Zona here, though, you've got to keep going at it. I mean, you've got 2 outs here. You don't want to lose it and put yourself in another bad situation. You know, you have to have confidence in yourself.
Samont with a nice swing. Ball gets fouled onto the roof once again. Good thing we have a mesh.
It is a good thing. But I think we're seeing again here consistency on hitting and getting contact. You know, GCU is finding the ball and they're seeing it very well.
They are. Both teams really are finding good contact and watching it in. And we've seen a lot of hits in the first 2 innings thus far. Pitch count is getting up there for both pitchers.
It is nerve-wracking too as a pitcher. And seeing all your pitches go in and they're not hitting the catcher's mitt. They're not going the catcher's mitt in the strike zone. Instead you're hearing the ding of the bat every single time. That gets in your head a little bit. And you got to work on making sure that it doesn't, and that you can go right back at it, go the same pitch that you just threw, have confidence in it again.
And it takes time, right? Something that you gain more with experience and reps.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why it's such a great thing to be able to work on. So we'll get time here from the umpire.
Yeah, we saw Zona switching up his timing there, taking a little bit longer. You don't want those runners to figure out the exact same timing.
As Ott cracks it over to left for foul. Count stays at 2-2.
And that ball too is on the very outside of the plate. So you can see here that Ott has a lot of reach and he can cover a lot of ground. So any pitch that is going to come here, he's going to have a chance to go and get.
That's helpful having that in your utility box as a batter, being able to come across. Still staying alive is Ott.
And Ott's not missing too. He's swinging and he's finding contact every single time. You know, that ball, just as we said, as it gets into a pitcher's mind, he's got the confidence too because that ball is hitting the bat every single time.
So we'll get a ball to upgrade it to a full count. 3-2. Need one out here if you're the Sun Devils.
3-2 count, 2 outs. This is the time as a pitcher that you put your best pitch
And we'll
that
see
you
what
can know and go to every single time.
Zona has cooked up. Ott cracks one down the middle. Nice play there
That you get
from
the
Connor Bullock.
routine fly
catch.
ball center is exactly what you need. If you're Zona, you find your way out of that inning, and although you might have seen a lot of players, a lot of runners on the field, and get a lot of base runners, it doesn't mean you're out of it. And being able to get off of the field while having runner in scoring position and 2 runners on the diamond is huge for ASU.
Oh, it makes all the difference. Making the outs that you have to make, doing the little things right. It's what can get you out of an out quickly.
And it's still a tie game. It's even up. And there's a lot of baseball left to play.
Yeah.
Leading off the top of inning number 3 for Arizona State University, the shortstop, number 12, Andrew Del Piso.
We're heading back here into this
Andrew
3rd
Del
inning.
Pizzo up to bat for the Sun Devils.
Top of the 3rd, opportunity for both teams. Find a little space.
Nice strike there from Cascais.
It's a really nice off-speed pitch coming in.
That one's ripped up high. Play is made by the Lopes. Get their first out. Good job by everyone converging there. Good communication.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the really difficult ones. You have a shortstop that's backpedaling, that's moving back towards that ball. It's a little easier for those outfielders to come in and get those. So it was definitely a good play there to get that short outfield pop fly.
And as a pitcher, I think getting that first early out in any inning just gives you that confidence knowing you only need 2 more.
Yeah, it's just one less.
1 up, 1 down.
One less out you have to worry about later on. One more breath that you can take. Relaxes you just a little bit.
That's right. And, as a batter, you pick up on tendencies and movement, looking at what the pitcher's doing, shoulder, rotation, where the ball's coming out of their hand. And it's a matter of if you're able to adjust and pick up on certain pitches, that can make all the difference in a tight game like this.
It really can. and they've gone through the lineup. They've seen it before.
So we'll get a ball there. That will load up the count 3-2 for Cascais. Money time, as you say.
It really is. Really is, and it's time to pay off.
Here comes a 3-2 from Cascais.
Good cut there, too.
Fouled off by Osborne, staying alive. Game still tied 2-2.
I really am impressed how Cascais has gone from such a really poor performance in the first inning to how these last two have gone. Obviously, we're not done with this inning yet, but
So Osborne draws the walk. And I agree. Like I mentioned in the second inning, he looks very comfortable now. He's established himself and looks confident on the mound. Always a good sign as a pitcher.
oh yeah, and it's a good sign too if you're a fielder. You want, if you're out on the field too, you want your pitcher to be confident in himself, and you don't want to be worrying about all these walks, all these balls, and if you know your pitcher's going to put it in there and give you an opportunity to make a play for him, means even more.
It's first baseman Vince Matty. And they are going to call the out at second. Wasn't sure initially. Good job by Grand Canyon.
Yeah, he had full possession there as the runner ended up getting there to 6-4. But we've seen both teams here just not benefit on those midfield balls that have an opportunity to turn two.
No, we haven't. And that's really, Marshall, what could make the difference in some of these close innings. Doing the little things right, making a flip, making sure your foot's on the base, and doing it in timely manner, obviously trying to draw two outs like that. It's a tough play, but if you can get it done, really helps out. You don't got to worry about other players coming up to bat.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if we end up seeing Matty too here on first, if he ends up coming through and scoring, that's a run that probably shouldn't have been there. They should be out of the inning right now, and GCU should be back up to hit because it's an earned run that shouldn't be there.
The one's popped up. Foul to the right side from Alex Del Pizzo, the right fielder. Looking to get something going here for the Sun Devils. So we've got two outs. GCU looking to get out of the inning. The 2-1 from Cascais is on the way. That'll settle down for a strike. Right down the middle.
A great pitch there, and this is now where one pitch can end it. One pitch ends the inning. So he's got to have confidence in his ability to get that one pitch.
One's choked up and ripped on by Del Pizzo. Fouled out.
And two, confidence might not be there because Del Pizzo, his last at bat, had that double that scored two for ASU. So it's
That's right.
he's that guy that put the dagger in him in the first inning. So it might get nightmares seeing him back up.
Now we get a full count.
This is also a chance though for Cascais to punch it in. Show that the guy that did it to him first inning, he can go right back at him. Not worry about that. He'll throw it right down the middle and still get it.
That one's going to be fair for Del Pizzo, and we'll end the inning for Grand Canyon.
Yeah, it's slow roller going in there.
No runs. So we go to the bottom of the third.
We'll see y'all after the break.
Hi guys, I'm Nia Jackson from Arizona State University, reporting for Varsity Sports Show. I'm here with Coach Warnall for GCU Club Baseball. Coach, you're on a 9-game win streak. How do you plan to keep that up throughout this game?
Yeah, it's just continuing to play defense. Our pitching's been really good this year, and the offense has covered enough runs that we've been able to win those games, and everything's.
Braden Coloma leading things off for Grand Canyon here in the bottom of the third. Game still knotted up 2-2. We got a tight one on our hands here, Marshall.
We really do. And Coloma's another guy that knows how to do damage.
Strike in there for Zona.
Finds himself in an even count.
It's ripped on by Coloma and is caught for the first out here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, it's another difficult one to get to there. It's like moving back again.
Nice job from second baseman Hunter McAloon. As first out of the inning. Zona comes back with the ball. Ooh, close one there.
Yeah, high inside ball.
Good take.
Sends it to a 2-0 count too. It's now time for Zona to battle back.
And if you're the batter, you've already come through the order now, close to a couple times, and kind of know what you're up against. It's a matter of can you execute.
Yeah, you do. You've seen it before. You've gone through it once. You know the pitches that he's going to throw. You've seen his arm slot. You know his timing. No, it's not something new. At this point, it's just seeing the ball. If you can find it and you can get the ball on the bat, then you can do damage.
Definitely. Zona missing outside on those last couple pitches. Draws the walk to Mantinen.
Yeah, and it's never a good look for a leadoff walk. You know, walks can be fine later on in an inning, but if you're leading off an inning with a walk, it starts off on a bad foot. You now have a runner on base, no out, with one out.
It's just one more thing you have to worry about,
Yeah.
right? as Mannington draws the walk. Now it's 3 pitches in a row outside on the right side. Looks like trying to hit that one spot. It's been hard to do so far.
Yeah, we're seeing him miss high and inside a lot, and it's, those are the pitches, if you miss, you tend to miss in the same spots if you're going for a similar pitch, and he's looking for something, but it's ending up in that high inside spot quite a bit.
It's Brady Steenson doing a good job
There's a lot of balls now.
taking these balls.
6 straight
3-0
balls.
count.
And this is about the time if you're A&M or one of the Texas A&M schools, you get the fans chanting ball 6, ball 6.
And that's ball 4. We will see another walk. Steenson moves to first, sets Grand Canyon up in scoring position with 2 runners on base, first and second, 1 out. They'll have a little meeting at the mound.
Yeah, I mean 2 straight walks just isn't a good look, and this might be the time where you talk it over with your pitcher here with Zoma. Like, do you figure out, is this the guy you want to stick with? And obviously the ball's now going into a different hand as we're swapping out here. Zoma didn't do awful. He did his second inning, came back in, and Zoma has performed extremely well the past couple games. He's done well. He's a good player. He's got 12 strikeouts on the season, a .75 GPA. That's going to switch up just a little bit today. It's going to his ERA might be going down just a little bit, but we do see another pitcher coming in here as we get Craig Borer.
Yeah, and I think adding on to that, I think Zona did a good job. Tough start for both teams, allowing 2 runs in the first. And I thought both pitchers did a nice job of battling back in the second inning and now in the third inning. So nice work all the way around. As we'll see Craig Borer come into the game.
And Borer's not
Sophomore
a pitcher
from
too.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah, he's not
local.
a pitcher that we've seen a lot this season. He doesn't have statistics on him for ERA, strikeouts, walks. So he must be new for this squad. There's been a lot of pitchers that they've gone through this weekend. It's a 3-game series. They went through 2 games yesterday, 1 today, and they might just be getting really deep into that lineup to where they have to be into that bullpen where they got to figure out the guys that can come in and at least put a ball there to at least give them some action in the field.
And that's what makes a great team is depth. We
Really
talk
does.
about it all the time, and having those guys that can come in and pitch, it takes a team to put a well-oiled machine together. It's not just one hand, and it's nice to have that stability as a coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having guys that can come in and do really well.
100%. I think that's a lot of what's talked about too in the MLB today. We have teams that have a prolific offense and their batters are just incredible, but they have maybe 2 starters and their bullpen is awful. They don't have the bullpen that they need, and it can get really scary to have your starting pitcher who you do rely on and who you are confident on go down early in the game and then have to worry about a bullpen that you're not confident in and that the fans aren't confident in too. When you're a fan and you see a bullpen player coming in, you're like, oh boy, like this guy.
And it really does put pressure because I've seen multiple times, even when I go to games, you get into the 5th, 6th, 7th inning, and your starter gets tired if he's still in the game, right? Like you're looking at pitch count, whether he's at 80, 90, 100, like it gets up there, and fatigue does become a factor. And having guys that can come in is just really helpful.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
And really, when you start to notice the fatigue with pitchers, it's nice as a hitter because you can kind of adjust even faster
Oh,
and be
absolutely.
able to make better contact.
I think the big thing too is pitchers when they tend to fatigue, they go back to similar pitches. They go back to the same pitches that they rely on, the ones that they're confident in, because the other ones start to dwindle down a little bit. So it makes it easier as a hitter. And double play
Nice
for
job there.
ASU.
What a play from Justin DeVicci, the third baseman, making the double play,
Yeah.
catching it and flipping it to second.
For the hole, hitter
5-4
number
double
Not a
play. You don't see that a
no,
ton.
not a
It's
very
it's
common
not
one.
a lot of action. A line drive to third that he's going to end up getting the guy at second, which is exactly what you want if you're ASU. Was that a one pitch inning? Was that his first pitch?
Yeah.
That's his one pitch there, and you got, if you're Craig Bohr coming in, you can't ask for more. Like there's no other there's nothing better than one pitch and you're out of the inning.
And if you're the runner at second there, is that over aggressiveness or just a great play by
Yeah, I know
Sun Devils?
it gets hard because as a base runner, it gets difficult because as a base runner, you're at second. You're trying to get your secondary leads because if you want to find that and the ball ends up going through, it's a line drive. That's a hard one because it's very quick. It's very quick. So you're at second, getting your secondary lead, and he gets the ball directly off the crack of the bat at third. So you're turning around right at that moment, and you have a split second to get back there to second. So it's really not a whole ton you can do as a base runner if you're in that position because you want to be as aggressive as possible without getting, too cocky in yourself and just giving up an easy out.
That's right. Yeah, you want to definitely have the confidence and be able to move around freely without feeling like you have to stick by the bag.
Fourth inning we go. Leading off for Arizona State University, the third baseman, number 11, Justin DeVicki.
Now to Viggy back up.
Cascais, what a job he's done being able to find the strike zone.
Really has, and as he goes into this fourth inning, it's good to see. It's good to see your starting pitcher continue to roll.
Did he go? No, he didn't.
Looks like he
So it
did not.
stays in the 0-2 count.
We do have a little bit of
Justin
action,
DeVicci.
a little bit of action there in that GCU bullpen, and Luke Olson over there getting warm. But it's also, you can have a pitcher getting warm for innings, because
That's right.
it's
Yep.
just to keep him so if Casais does seem to struggle,
As he gets another strikeout
so
on
does it,
DeVicci.
yeah, not a lot of struggle right there for Casais.
Swing there from Christensen. We're looking for our next lead change in this game. Been knotted up at 2 now for a little bit. Another strike for Cascais.
And Cascais too. We've been talking about it all game. First inning, not finding his groove. Now he's locked in. Like he's found exactly what he wants to do. He knows his pitches well. He's extremely confident in his pitches, and his defense is playing well behind him
And
too.
they will make the play. They'll get the out. Second out. Good
And
job there from second baseman Nathan Fernandez. running over and flipping it.
Fernandez too, getting that one on the
Second
run
baseman, number 19.
makes it
Hunter
easy.
Nicholas.
Makes it easy for a pitcher knowing that you can trust the guys behind you, and that some of the times if you don't have the field behind you, you have to rely on your pitches. You have to rely on putting them in spots that the hitter can't get. But if you're a pitcher confident in the guys behind you, I can put it down the middle because I don't think this guy is gonna go long on me, and I can, my players behind me can do extremely well.
Yeah, and it's a tough play running to your left like that, ground ball. Good job by him being able to trap it and flip it over to his first baseman to get the out. Outside for a ball, 1-1 for Cascais. This has been pretty cat and mouse games so far
It really has.
between Grand Canyon University and Arizona State University. Just trying to see what one another's up against.
We're very even. It's been even all game. ASU goes up, and we think that something's gonna change, and
As GCU's bullpen is getting active with Nathan Kennedy warming up. Right-hander. Rip there. They're going to get the out at first. And that'll do it for the end of
No hits.
first inning.
great play there too by Suniga getting that, because those may look routine, but at the very end of that one, it took a weird bounce up and into him. So it was a little steady coming up, and then off the dirt took just an off bounce. And he kept it, trapped it within his body, and stayed fluent with it all the way to first too.
Really nice play.
It's good too when you make the hard ones look easy. It
That's
might
right.
not look hard
Yeah.
to everybody else. It was very, very fluid.
Craig Bohr out there for Sun Devils once again, looking to establish himself in this game.
Yeah, we didn't see a whole ton of them that last inning. With one pitch, you don't get a whole outlook on a pitcher. You don't see what they really are, what their pitches are, how they handle adversity. Instead, we just saw a straight line drive double play. So it'll be, I think this is the inning that we'll really get a full knowledge on what we
And I think
expect.
I agree. And I think that double play made up for the couple potential double plays that we didn't see work out. That was a really nice one.
Yeah, I
That
think so
checked out.
too. And even after, two straight walks, those are free runners. Those are guys that got on there because you gave it to them. So you have a runner on first and second, and it was pure ASU fault for those players being over there and being able to get out of the inning while still doing that has more to say within itself too.
The right fielder, number 21, Frankie Martinez.
Early ball from Bohr.
He started off speed there, went towards the curveball early. Ooh,
As Frankie Martinez gets a swing that looks to have rebounded and stunned him.
he kind of just chopped on that one and hit the bottom of the bat and just went straight back at his ankle.
And we're going to take a little injury break here. Be right back. What a throw there.
That was a deep ground ball there, short, that he found his one in his
Andrew
back
Del
leg.
Pizzo, the shortstop.
Catcher, number 6, Zach.
Good throw to first base to get the out.
And a good start for Bohr, too.
The Sun Devils get the first out here. The bottom of the fourth, excuse me. As we've seen some nice throws to the plate so far to first base. This one gets by for Zach Ekstrom. He gets on board.
And right through that third base shortstop gap again.
Back to the top of the order for GCU. Number 13, shortstop, Santiago Zuniga.
Santiago Zuniga up to bat for the Lopes.
And you're back at the top of this lineup here.
He's going to power one down the middle of the field. That's going to fall in for a base hit.
And these are your guys. You know, you're back to the top. These are guys, the ones that you're confident the most in,
Number 5,
that have played well this season so far. But they now have a new pitcher, so it's not the same coming back to guy that they knew. It's a different arm slot, it's different speed. Everything is different from what they've seen before.
Still a righty, so you still are going to see
nice off
same
there.
mechanics.
It's me just a little high though.
The 1-0 from Bohr. We'll hang in for a strike.
It's interesting to see those calls too. The one before being just around the same height, and that one being called
A strike.
a strike. So it's, we've talked about inconsistency on the umpire side, but we continue to see a little bit of it here and there.
Do you think they would ever go to a fully AI design for the strike zone?
I think that just takes a lot out of baseball. I think
Yeah.
that's what makes it interesting. Another one in that third.
Fernandez gets a
shortstop
base
line.
hit. We have a runner going to third and home. Sun Devils get stuck in the middle, not knowing which one to pick off. And GCU scores on the play. They now take the lead 3-2. Nice RBI there from Fernandez.
It was a good play, but what I was more impressed with there was the heads up ability there from Zuniga to going from second to third. You know, you got your third baseman moves up to get the cut towards home, and it leaves third completely open, and that's where you usually see a shortstop come up and take over third, but at that point he wasn't. So Zuniga sees that, and he goes directly to third, knowing it's just a free base open opportunity.
And that's where that aggressiveness pays off. In that position as a base runner, wanting to be as aggressive as you can and put the defense in a bit of a bind and make a decision, which they did, and it worked out.
Yeah. Now first and third there, you see a lot of the time you're going to have a runner going on those. Because what GCU tries to get out of that too, if you have a runner going and they decide to throw down to 2, you're going to take an opportunity with Zuniga on third, and he's got speed. He's going to head home if they decide to go 2.
Nice strike from Bohr. It's the count 1-1. Sam Ott, the third baseman, looking to do some more damage here for the Lopes. He lines one out.
It's exactly
Center
what they
field,
wanted, though.
caught by the Sun Devils.
It's going to get one in there, sac fly.
Another great grab by center fielder Connor Palak. He's made now 2 or 3 of those in this game. Good job being aware.
17,
Yeah, I think it's always important to make the routine plays, be out there, and you know if it's coming right at you, you know you hope as a teammate, you know as a player out there that you're gonna make those plays. And
I think being focused is sometimes the hardest part. You know, you're in there in outfield and knowing that ball could come your way at any second. It's really just being on your toes and staying locked in for the entire game.
Absolutely. I think that's too what makes, it gets a little difficult out there because, all these players, they're probably getting the ball. The infield's getting it, a handful of times a game. But the outfield too, they might not be getting the amount of balls that they
Coloma's
need
going to
to.
line one down the first base line.
That'll
Nice
score
RBI.
another.
It's Fernandez, the team leader
And
in runs
Fernandez too
scored,
there.
gets another one.
Fernandez too there as he was on second. He was stealing third, so he was going for third either way. That shot there, opposite side of the field,
Number 50, first baseman.
was just walking in for him.
Grand Canyon University taking a 5-2 lead over Arizona State here. Bottom of the fourth. They get the out to get out of the inning. Nicely done by the Sun Devils. They do give up 3 as we'll head to the top of the fifth.
Yeah, and they do find a way out, and I think that's
No Sun Devils errors, one left.
the best way you could have ended it. Obviously, you don't want to add more, but it just gets difficult as a Sun Devil out there.
Absolutely, and we'll be back for the top of the fifth in moments.
ASU at the bottom of their lineup here with Connor Palak. We did have a base hit throughout that short and third hole there, as he lets the first one go for a strike on the outside, 0-1 count. We still have Cascais here as he goes into the fifth inning off a great performance so far. Drive by Palak will be short and left field. Diving play. A lot of effort out there shown. Will get the first out of the inning in left field.
Top of the order now for the Sun Devils, number 14, left fielder Mason Ford.
It is great to see effort like that as you're going in. The left field, it's especially in the outfield. Those are the plays that you get to see a lot of energy, a lot of drive. And some of the most Sports Center top 10 plays are some of these outfielders going and laying out for balls. And that short, slow grounder will be coming in. He had movement off of the left side of the box. Be out for out 2. Quick inning so far, only 2 outs. 3 pitches,
Number
2
12,
outs.
shortstop Andrew Del Pizzo.
Those lefty ones are what gets difficult too, is you go and you're hitting those straight on the ground as a lefty. You're having momentum out of the box. So as a fielder, you got to get it out just a little bit quicker to make up for that speed. Andrew Del Pizzo up to bat. Good performance so far today from Del Pizzo. And that ball is going to be deep to center as he moves back, and he's going to catch that for out number 3 of the inning. Del Pizzo going deep. That will send it there. Cascais, 1, 2, 3 inning.
Had to step out momentarily, Marshall, but it sounds like it was a fast inning.
Oh, it was quick. You didn't miss a whole ton there. Cascais still coming out, 1, 2, 3 inning, and it was, man, it's just seeing that too. Cascais is, we talked about the bullpen being warming up, and it's been brought up now too. Multiple people coming in saying, bullpen's open here. This person's in the bullpen. They don't need it right now. GCU does not need it. Cascais 1, 2, 3 in a good part of the lineup too. You went straight from Connor Palak at the end to your top 2. So your top 2 in the lineup, and it was a very quick inning for the Lobes.
Yeah, and now we go to the bottom of the 5th, and we've really seen the Grand Canyon University really settle in here. From the first inning giving up 2, now they go 4 straight innings without allowing a run. Good job adjusting by them.
We have a new pitcher here too, Aiden Green on the mound. Aiden Green too. He has a 0 ERA. So he has pitched before. He's come in. I don't know how long he has pitched or how often he does. It might just be for a singular inning that nobody came in. But nobody has scored that has been earned on Green so far.
Yeah, we'll see how he does for the Sun Devils, looking to switch things up. Get a new hand on the mound. And if you're GCU, just looking to keep doing what you're doing. You've got the 5-2 lead. Keep sticking to the basics, doing the little things right, and setting yourself up for success.
Another pitcher coming in here, though. So another guy sticking with the righty.
The bottom of the 5th inning for GCU, number 15, center fielder, Brady Stinson.
We're at the middle of the lineup, too, for GCU.
Early strike for Green. Nice way to start it out. Play's going to be made from the second baseman.
Yeah, hard hit
Sun
ball,
Devils will
too.
get first out of the inning.
Hard hit ball there, second.
Number 44.
Nice job by Hunter McClune.
We didn't have a. It was a difficult one to go to. Those are some of the hardest ones too, because you don't have a ton of time. You obviously you're getting your steps in and you're ready before the ball's getting pitched. But if that ball's coming directly at your glove on the ground too, at that point it gets very difficult.
Oh. Wow. As Rogers gets dinged, he will head to first.
Yeah, hit by pitch opportunity. Now you gotta run around first, and you have the ability to put more runs on. You have a 3-point lead, you have a 3-run lead, but you have a chance to add more, and an even bigger chance to sweep the series if you continue to add.
And as a pitcher, Marshall, it's always a tough situation. Not something you're trying to do. It does happen in the game from time to time, but is usually something that you have the ability to control.
Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta shake it off. I mean, it's one of those things. It's gonna happen at some point. You can't be perfect. but you got to shake it off. Don't let it get under your skin and go right back at the batter.
As Green is playing some games with Steenson on first base, going back and forth. Just seeing if he's aware. Martinez pops one up. It is caught. And correct me if I've said this, Connor Palak, center fielder, gets
Yep.
another one.
Yeah, and
His fourth one of the game.
I think we've just seen there's been a lot that have just been, it's right spot, right timing, and it's been right there. So he has gotten it's done a lot of action out there in center field.
Sun Devils with 2 outs.
Another pickoff attempt there too. And those two, you get a lot of time you see it if a player gets injured. If you hit them, you kind of go back to first and pick off attempts just because you know that they're not at their fullest, right?
Yeah. You want to try to get that opportunity.
God, thank God that mesh was there.
That's what I said.
Directly at our
3 innings before. Very lucky. Now I think that one would have.
I think it was
maybe
going
hit
through the
us.
window. I think it was going directly through the window.
Yeah. Screen has the 1-1 count.
But Green here too with 2 outs. If you put the ball in play, just let your fielders take advantage. If you're not confident in your own ability, let your fielders take it.
That one's fouled off that time by Ekstrom. Staying alive, 1-2. If you're ASU, you're 1 out away. You just want to get out of this inning and give your offense another opportunity to put some runs on the board. Fouled off again by Ekstrom.
Ekstrom continuing to battle. Ekstrom's done well today too, as bottom of the lineup. He's gotten on base twice. He has done a solid job keeping this roster steady. And having a balanced lineup, knowing that even at the back end of your lineup, you have a guy that could get on base and that you have ability to work with as you go up to the top of the lineup.
Really good asset to have.
Absolutely.
There. Umpires calling time. Green resets. Comes the 1-2. Down the middle for another ball. 2-2's the count.
That one's going to be a little low. When you have those counts too, you don't want to put it directly down the middle. You don't want to put it middle, where you're going to give him another opportunity to get the perfect ball that he wants. You want to give it to a spot that he's going to have to chase. He doesn't want to. And there it is. That high ball is where you're going to get a lot of them there.
High fastball.
Because he
does the
was
job.
looking for it.
Nice job by Green getting out of the inning for the Sun Devils. As we go to the top of the 6th.
Green keeps his 0 ERA too.
That's right.
We don't know how many innings he has pitched, but
as GCU
keeps it going,
maintains their 5-2 lead.
As we head in here to the 6th too, you only have 3 innings, right? You have four total innings left, and it's important as an ASU, as a Sun Devil. You gotta add a little bit. You don't have to get all 3 right now.
No, you got lots of time.
You gotta break it though. You gotta start getting at it.
It's that sudden sense of urgency that you pick up your game, you elevate your game, and you're right. It's not the 9th inning. It's not like you got 3 outs left, but there will be an upper sense of urgency, and I expect to see a lot more guys swinging.
Oh, absolutely.
I would rather strike out swinging than strike out looking.
Oh, for sure. I think that's just too. That's for anything. I think you can call that. We could have said that at the start of the game too. Like these players, they're eager to hit. They're eager to get runs. I think GCU, they want to sweep the series. they have an opportunity to do it. They're eager to do that. Sun Devils, ASU, don't want to get swept. You don't want to leave GCU not winning a game.
No.
That'd be, it's embarrassing as a player having to leave a game knowing that your team dropped it. So,
And if you're the Sun Devils, you kind of just want to flush out what happened yesterday and start out today as a clean slate.
oh, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Defensive changes for the Lopes. Now behind the plate at catcher, number 8, Kyson Medina. And now to the mound for your Lopes, right-hander number 12, Luke Olsen.
Olsen now on the mound too.
For the Sun Devils in the
Casillas
sixth inning, catcher,
makes his
number
way out.
49, Noah Osborne.
Man, a good performance from Casillas after that first inning.
Really well done.
Finish it off through 5. But now Olsen finds his way in. As we were talking about him in the bullpen, seeing him warm up. Olsen, too, one of the top pitchers on this team. 1.69 ERA.
Really good numbers.
Second lowest
on the team.
out of their pitchers, yeah.
So he has a 1-1 count here. It's a strike in there. To number 39, Noah Osborne for the Sun Devils. Looking to create some offense here in the top of the 6th inning. Sun Devils need 3 to tie it. Osborne pops one up. Shallow center. And it is caught by Brady Steenson. We've seen a lot of pop-ups to center field here, Marshall.
We have, and I think that just shows that that's the center of the field is where you see a lot of very good driven balls. So it shows that these players are getting the barrel to the ball very well and are finding the plays that they want, finding the pitches that they like, and are trying to put it in play. But a good start here by Olsen too.
Yeah, it was a quick out. Exactly how you want to draw it up.
You got your 3-4 hitters too. So these are your power guys. You got your cleanups.
Vince Matty with a good swing there. Sun Devils really just looking for anything just to get on base and create some kind of scoring opportunity. Matty looks in a ball.
And Matty with 8 hits on the season. He's looking to add more and needs to if he's going to. ASU's going to find a way to get back.
It's Tyler Soren warming up in the Lopes dugout. The right-hander. Olsen gets the 3-1 strike call. That'll load it up to a full count.
Great pitch on the outside, but that's also one that if you're a hitter, could be called both ways. And with 3 balls too, I think he was hoping that ball would be called.
Olsen for the 3-2. Fouled off by Matty. Good job staying alive. Olsen gets the pitch in. Delivers. Matty chops one up. First base. And the Lopes get the job done. They earn their second out of the inning. 2 down, 1 to go.
That too shows a lot as a pitcher. Those are the plays. You work on them a lot. Pitcher fielding drills and getting over there is harder than you think. You're full momentum going towards the plate.
on your release, your
Yeah,
fall
you're
through.
falling through. You're going. You got momentum going towards the plate, and then you're completely swapping up, and you have to cover the bag. You have to beat out that guy that's moving from the plate.
Olson with a nice fastball down the middle. Strike one.
Now Olson finding the strike zone really well too.
Another strike. Strike two.
It seems that he's just controlling it. He's using that fastball too. He's controlling the strike zone. He's finding the outer edges. And he went low and down the middle his first one, and it hits the outside there. And his fastball's got speed. It's got quickness to it. So it's you hear the pop of the glove.
Del Pizzo chops one up. First base.
Another 1-2-3 inning for the Lopes.
Yep. Three up, three down.
No hits. No errors, none left. We go to the bottom of the sixth. GCU 5, Arizona State 2.
Bottom of the sixth upcoming. The Lopes back up to bat. We will be right back. Santiago Zuniga up to bat for the Lopes.
Green back on the mound too. Impressive inning from him last inning. If you want to keep it going for ASU, you can't let them add more. We were just talking about ASU trying to find ways to chip off on that lead, chip off on the deficit just a little bit. But GCU now looking to add a little bit more. If you have the opportunity to go up 4 instead of 3, 5 instead of 3, it makes it just a little bit more difficult for these Sun Devils to have to come back because even the explosive innings that we've had have been 3 runs, 2 runs. So it's not, a 4 run lead could be huge for this GCU squad.
I agree. Getting as much offense as you can. And at this point in the game, kind of in the middle stretch, runs matter. And when you're trying to close the game, close the gap, it definitely helps if you're able to stretch that lead.
Oh, for sure.
Couple balls in the dirt for Green as the count moves full.
This is where you see as a pitcher Green. We haven't seen him in this full count opportunity too, so he's gotta figure out his pitches.
Comes a 3-2. Zuniga powers it past third baseman. Drop in for a base hit as he reaches first.
We've seen a lot of those little line drive singles, rounder singles through those holes, and GCU has done extremely well at just finding the holes and getting guys on base. You know, they left a couple there, and it's not that they've been stranded, but they're getting guys on there.
And I think they've had really active bats, which has helped them. They've seen a lot balls come inside and being able to swing and make good contact. And you're not just seeing it with one or two guys, it's throughout the lineup. They've seen the ball really well today.
Oh, for sure.
Fernandez is at the plate. And a successful stolen base there for Zuniga. Second time he's done that today from first to second. Well played. Tough play as a catcher when you see base runner already cross the halfway point between first and second. Throw has to be on the money. And if it's not, you're not going to get there in time.
Yeah, and Zuniga's fast. He had 4 coming into this game, 4 stolen bases, and he keeps adding some today.
Fernandez chops one out, and that's going to land in for a base hit. Fernandez is going to stay at first. Was thinking about going to second. One of those balls that gets sent out in between the infield and the outfield.
Yeah, just another little blooper in between left, center, and short, just kind of in the middle of all 3 of them. And those are the ones again that we've talked about before. It's just really, really difficult. You have to be playing extremely shallow if you're an outfielder, or extremely deep if you're the shortstop there to be able to get to those. So it's just one of those that falls right in the pocket that is just not going to be able to get to.
And one thing that I learned playing is it's always easier to run forward than backward.
Yeah.
So having that ability to maybe back up a little bit if you're shortstop, even to close that gap, so that doesn't happen all the time where it's in the middle of the pocket. It's a tough play, but always being able to run forward is easier than backwards.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll have a little break here to talk and discuss. And now it's bottom of the 6th, Marshall, 7th inning upcoming. If you're ASU, what do you got to do to get some offense going? Haven't really seen any since the first inning.
Yeah, we talked about the first inning. 10 straight ASU batters retired. And this is in the last couple innings, and it's you can't just not be getting on base. If you get on base, you're gonna have the ability to score, right? So we have to have the ball. Barrel has to be finding the bat like it was that first inning. You gotta start chipping. We keep saying chipping. Find the ones the ones in the innings, the 2-run innings. You gotta make small little places to try to build up to take away that lead.
And you're right, getting on base is half the battle, right? Just putting that focus onto the pitcher to worry about more than just the guy swinging the bat at the plate is getting on base and having the opportunity to get your guys home.
Yeah, and they just haven't done that the past few innings. I mean, it's 3 straight innings that they haven't had a guy on. So it's if you're ASU,
Definitely not what you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do anything with it I mean, how are you going to score a run if you don't have a guy on base?
So another attempt for second is successful. GCU scores on the play.
Yeah, it just passes through the center there, and
As Zuniga comes in to add to the lead. It is now 6-2 Grand Canyon University over Arizona State.
yeah, just adding more to the lead. Now four-run deficit for the Sun Devils.
And now Sam Ott is up to bat, and this is not the guy that the Sun Devils want to see in this spot. Ott, of course, leads the team in hits with 16 and RBIs with 10 coming into this game. Really dangerous spot for the Sun Devils right now.
Yeah, it is. Ott's a great player. He's got a lot of power to him. You got a runner in scoring position on second. A lot of opportunity here for Ott to do something that he's already done this game.
So we see another foul ball chopped out and a big thud.
Green's got to find his footing out there too on the mound. It seems like he's lost a little confidence. He played well last inning, but you just gotta get back to what you were, your fundamentals of who you are as a pitcher.
And I think it starts with one batter at a time, not looking too forward, talking about fundamentals, just making sure, focus on the batter at hand and try to continue to chip away at things. As you can't even think about batting right now. You got to think about getting out of this inning and playing good defense.
Yeah.
So we have full count for Green.
No outs too. You gotta find the ones that you can get.
Alex Quintero warming up in the Sun Devils dugout. Ott draws the walk. First and second. Runners on for the Lopes.
17, designated hitter, Kalama.
And this situation is not looking good for the Sun Devils as things just keep piling up here. And that's really what it comes down to is you get a man on base, then you get another one, and all of a sudden the game can really turn around here and get ugly.
Yeah, it just continues to stack up. We've got, it's gone straight, back to back GCU guys have just gone on, and it's not going to benefit you as a pitcher to be letting those guys in. But they're going to stick with Green here too after the mound visit. Just reassure him that he's got it. Like it's not nothing to worry about. You've let one go.
Oh yeah, you're
You
fine.
you have no outs, but you have to find it.
Find a way.
Yeah, and as a fielders too, you have opportunities, first and second. Double plays are accessible at any bag right now.
Arizona State could really use a double play right about now. Really any out in general as they work to get to the top of the seventh and put some offense together.
Yeah, and you got Coloma here too, your four-hole hitter up to bat for GCU. So if you're you with runners on, this is the guy you want up. You put him in the lineup at your four-hole because you know that he can do damage and that he's got the power to get it there. So it's a big spot on both sides of the field.
Green thinking about possible pick play at second base. He's been looking back there now for a little while, trying to see if he can get that opportunity to throw it. High inside on Coloma for ball one. Oh, Coloma hit with the pitch, draws the automatic walk.
Yeah, I think this is the time too. This is where ASU is going to head to their bullpen and go back out. You just can't.
Well, it really, Marshall, went from one runner on base to bases loaded in under 5 minutes. Definitely not a great situation for the Sun Devils as they'll look to switch things up and get out of a bind here.
Yeah, and Green comes out. It was a solid first inning performance, and it was a great way to come in too. But well, unfortunately, you can't just let three people on like that. And Alex Quintero finding his way onto the mound.
Yeah, the Sun Devils desperately needing a way to find an out to get out of this inning.
And we talk about bullpen. We talked about earlier having to worry about a pitcher. When you got people coming in, if you're looking straight statistics, this is a guy coming in that if you're ASU, maybe a little bit nerve-wracking. We don't know how long he's played. One bad inning can change your entire ERA. So it could be one inning, but it does. It's a 13.5 ERA for Quintero. So he comes in the game.
I agree, but I do think this is a great opportunity for Quintero, the sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona, to get some good quality playing time here and get his team out of this situation. I think it's a great opportunity to show what he can do.
And he's got 6 walks on the season too. So that's one thing to look out for. But I would say, like at this point, the walk is the one thing that you do not want. You have bases loaded. You can't just be giving
Free runs.
free
Yeah.
handouts, and it's
No.
not. But Quintero too with an opportunity. You have no outs, so this is a hard spot for a pitcher to come into. You come into this game, 0 outs, bases loaded. You don't have the lead. This is worst case scenario for a bullpen pitcher come in. So he has. He doesn't come in with a lot. It'll be difficult, but he has to show up and out for his team.
And that's where this experience is so valuable, being put in a spot like this. It really shows the competitor in these players, giving them the chance to show out.
For sure. Well, we'll see. He goes
As
from the windup too.
Koa Bannington is up to bat for the Lopes.
This is a situation too. A lot of times with runner on base, you're going to go from the stretch, right? Because you don't want anybody stealing. You're afraid of that. You don't want an extensive lead. You're going to try to pick off. With bases loaded like this, you're not really worried as much. You're not worried as much
Picking
about
runners
these runners taking advantage of a free base.
It's more so getting the outs.
You were focusing on the guy at the plate.
Right.
Not the start that he wanted. 3-0 count. 3 ball straight.
You just talked about giving out free runs, Marshall. Tough spot now. Got to be able to battle back.
It's the worst thing because it keeps the bases loaded and gives them something free. But a good pitch there from him.
Count moves to 3-1. Mannington sees that one for a ball 4.
Yeah, it's just.
And that'll be a score again for the Lopes. Off a forced walk.
Nothing changes on the board. You still have 0 outs. You're handing things away. You're extending a lead now that goes to 5.
And that's a free run that's always tough to give up when opponent doesn't have to work for it. Steenson swings one out to right field. Play is made.
The good thing there too for the Sun Devils is a lot of the times when you see a high fly ball like that, bases loaded, you're worried about that sacrifice fly that it's going to be too deep. He has the ability to tag up, but with that ball being so shallow and the right fielder having momentum coming forward, it gives no ability for third base to be taking that chance to go home because
He
that
doesn't have the
ball,
opportunity.
absolutely, that ball would be on a bullet line straight to home and would have him by steps.
Quintero has one out. Ian Petros is on deck for the Lopes. We have a 2-0 count for Quintero. Swing and a miss by Rogers.
So we've seen this now in the last two batters. He falls behind the count. So it's 2 pitches, 3 pitches at the start. He'll
Couple
fall
balls to
back,
start.
but he's finding his rhythm a little bit more there.
Back-to-back swings by Rogers. Now a 2-2 count. Nicely done by Quintero, looking to finish out the bottom of the 6th for the Sun Devils. Comes a 2-2. Nice swing by Rogers to left field. Not going to have enough power to make it out. Play is made.
But that's one
And
of those
Ott
balls that
comes in to
is deep
score
enough.
for the Lopes. They now.
Sacrifice fly will
Ladies and gentlemen, your
add another.
attention, please. Hitting for Martinez.
As the Lopes now
Number
nurse a
80, Ian Petros.
7-2 lead.
And the sophomore Ian Petros finding his way into the game too.
And that's a tough one when you're only at 1 out. Have the sacrifice fly like that. Guy on third base is going to make it home every time,
Yeah.
most likely. And
I mean, as a hitter though, that's what you're looking to find. If you're able to pull that ball deep and find that almost at the warning track there, there's not an ability to get that ball in. GCU does a great job there getting that bat to the ball and being able to put that ball in the play where it needs to be.
yeah, I think that was the closest one we've seen today.
Yeah,
It's going out.
definitely the deepest on the edges for sure.
Quintero with the 1-1. Misses high and outside.
I think there was a first inning shot to deep right center field, and that was probably the only competitive shot
Swing
at
and
that
a miss there
deepest of the day.
from Petros. Grand Canyon University up 8-2. And ASU just desperately looking to get out of this inning. An inning that seemed to stretch quite a while now, Marshall.
Yeah, and with 3 innings left, you just can't let them chip and get more. And they find it there.
And Quintero gets a strikeout to end the bottom of the 6th as we head to the top of the 7th with Grand Canyon University.
He allows 2 in there, and that's consider it in my book that's a win. If you have no outs, you come into the game, no outs, bases loaded, and the first one was given up by him. That was his walk. You can't do a whole ton about that. But then it's just a sac fly ball that's going to end up getting out there, and that's really the only one that should have been there. After his walk was just given up. So it's not a bad job there by Quintero, and finds his way out of the inning in an impressive manner too.
As ASU will look to get their offense rolling and get back in this ball game. On the top of the 7th. We'll be back in a few. Top of the 7th here. Sun Devils at bat. And that one gets past Chase Jankowski on board, just what the doctor ordered for ASU, getting on board early.
Yeah, and I think the error is really all that they need. And you know that ball coming right off of the glove. We had 10 straight retired for the ASU finally get their first inning.
And sometimes that's all it takes. A lucky bounce like that. That's all you need to get things going and catch a break.
Absolutely. Now they got to take advantage, though. If you do it once, you got to keep going.
Anthony Rivera's at bat for ASU.
And Rivera's played well, 2.86 ERA, batting average.
Outside there. Two 0 count. A strike for Olson. The 2-1. Chop to third. Nice play to second. Gets the out. Can they force a double? They can.
Just now what you need
Double
if you're
there
ASU.
for the Lopes.
That 5-4-3 double play.
Good awareness.
It's going to get them there.
Check that Rivera was hitting for Christensen at designated hitter. Now batting.
And that's one of those hits, Marshall, that goes in the perfect spot. A little grounder in between second and third. Right in the sweet spot. Able to flip it to second. Get the toss over the first in time for the double play.
You work on it all the time. Being able to do it here just shows that its practice is worthy.
Early strike again for Olson. Ball's in the dirt. So we'll see a 1-1 count. And that's kind of just crushing if you're ASU. You get a guy on board and double play like that just after you get a man on first. It's definitely unfortunate because that was the right opportunity to get some offense going if they're able to get another base hit or two.
Yeah, especially since of the big drought that they've had of people on bags out there. So it's it does suck to see that for ASU.
And a nice sliding play there by center fielder Brady Steenson.
And that'll do it again. Only 3 batters.
And 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, coming back up.
So we go down to the bottom of the 7th here at Grand Canyon University. The Lopes leading 8-2 over the Sun Devils. And we will be back shortly. Ooh,
Ball very high and
head
inside
hunting
there.
pitch.
Quintera. But it's common we see him. Those early balls in the count. Just got to find his way back like he did last inning.
Yeah, he did a nice job for Arizona State. Getting out of that inning was put in a tough spot. And good for him for responding. And now he gets another chance in the seventh to go 3 up, 3 down. Wow. And these that was close. Another half foot up maybe. Good thing for that mesh. As the count moves 1-2. Ball missed in the dirt.
Quintera with an even count now. He's got to make his way back. You can't let this GCU team get back on bags here. Find base runners because it'll be
Be a
hard to continue.
long afternoon.
We worry about those walks, but you can't do it here. Cannot give it to him.
As Medina draws the walk, just like you just said, and Lopes once again have a man on base.
GCU, number 13, left fielder, Santiago Zuniga.
Yeah, you sit in the back of the lineup. It's your last guy, and now you're just right at the top. So these are your guys with the best batting averages on the team. The guys that have done the best. And now that same runner that got on up the walk moves to a scoring
Medina
position, being in
goes to
second.
second.
Zuniga for another opportunity.
That'll be a ball. Count goes 3-0. Nice swing there to shallow center. Good play made by the second baseman, Hunter
Number
McLuhan.
5, shortstop, Nathan Fernandez.
Yeah, McCoon's got a couple of those. He's done well on those shallow pop flies out in the outfield.
Fernandez up once again. Someone who's been active in this game. He's really made his mark.
I think you could say every single GCU player has been active in this game. I feel like it's just been a lot of hits from this GCU squad, and I think every single player is. I mean, obviously Fernandez has done incredible this game, but it just goes throughout the entire lineup today.
Yeah, they've collectively played really well, and looks like they've had a good scouting report. It's Fernandez chops one up to second base and is out at first with 2 outs now for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, Del Pizzo, quick hands there. He gets it right in and out of short, and it's another easy out there for ASU. It'd be big to find a way out of this inning without adding another run after putting up 3 last inning. You got a chance here for Quintera.
Ball inside for Sam Ott. Ott's had a lot of teammates in scoring position when he's been up to bat today.
He has.
Another power hitter for Grand Canyon. Swings one up the center. Makes it through the second base. Ott will earn a ribby as Medina comes in for the score for the Lopes.
Medina was tracking that the entire time. He saw that ball going right through as he's sitting at second. And when that ball goes right behind you, you know that you have a chance because it's going straight to center. And if you can beat out that ball from center, and you just know that you can beat the arm, then it's just another addition on that run there.
As the Lopes now lead 9-2. Quintero with another ball as the Sun Devils, the last 4 innings, been really hard to work back from. You allow 7 combined runs. That one gets fouled off by Coloma.
Yeah, I mean, before this, it was a tie game. It was you had 2-2 in the first, and you were keeping it steady, and then all of a sudden we see GCU just explode offensively, and it's been 3-0, 3-1, and it's
And
hard.
give credit to head coach Rich Warnell and his squad here. They've looked really sharp.
Just hard to compete against a team when they're constantly putting up steady numbers throughout the innings.
And that's what they do a really good job of is bat to ball, getting on base, just getting hits in general and producing to get their offense going. So another one goes over the top. Fouled straight back by Coloma. 1-2 count for Quintero. On the way. Coloma swings it. Fouled out to the left side. And he's going to try to get on base and further develop this Lopes lead that's just been growing ever since the 4th inning when they broke through the 2-2 tie.
A lot of power for an opposite field foul ball for Maloma.
Very strong batter to be able to hit it both ways. Nice asset. So that one's going to squeak through for Coloma as he gets a single out of it. Play that probably should have been made.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's another error.
that's why they call it the hot corner, though. You're sitting over there at third base. Lucas Lopari over there, and it gets hard. That's the ball that's going to be hit the hardest. It's when it's pulled into you on that line is when the ball is the hardest it's going to be throughout the entire of the field. So it's a difficult one. Should the play be made? Probably, but yeah, hard hit ball there, Coloma, and gets him on.
All outside. And I think you just get used to seeing players just make ridiculous plays like that on the third base line like that, where they're diving to their left, to their right, and picking up those hard hit balls that you grow to expect plays to be made.
Yeah, I think we just see it done so often that it looks to be made
Routine.
easy.
Yeah.
And it's so routine, so fundamental what we see on TV and these MLB players who have perfected it. They're still they're getting 120-mile-an-hour balls sent
Ridiculous.
right to them, and they have to react on a flick of the wrist. So it's gotten to a point where it's seeing it as a fan too, like, oh, that play should have been made. But at the same point, that ball was smoked at him.
Yeah. Well, just imagine his shoes on the other foot, as that's going to be flown out and caught by Connor Pollock in center field to end the inning for the Sun Devils as we move to the top of the eighth. Lopes leading 9-2. It's go time for ASU now, Marshall. Only 2 innings left. Got to get something going.
Yeah, we talked about, a couple innings ago, we said they just had to pick. And they had to pick off and, keep chipping at that lead. And now it's gotten to a point where that lead is extended and you have 2 innings left. You don't have time to chip. You have to get it all. You don't have the opportunity to go 1 or 2. You have to put up 7. You have to have an offensive shootout of an inning and have the firepower.
And interesting here, we have a team meeting with head coach Dave Lovchekio for ASU as the entire team meets outside the dugout. Maybe some words of encouragement from coach heading into the last 2 innings to try to say, hey guys, I know we're down, but still got some game left. All it takes is 1 or 2 hits to get things going, and essentially the message being we're not done yet, so keep fighting.
No, for sure. It gets hard too, knowing that there's 2 innings left as an ASU player, and you're coming out on this field, and your hopes are a little low. It's 7 runs is difficult. It's difficult to make, and it's not expected. So it'll take a lot out of the Sun Devil squad if they want to be able to make a break back at it.
As Olson is going to stick on the mound for the Lopes. He's been doing really well, shutting down this Sun Devils offense for the last while as, yeah, the Lopes haven't allowed a run since the first inning. Really good team defense being played along with pitching.
Leading off the top of the 8th.
They've had a good formula going here.
Number 6, center fielder Connor Pollock.
Back at the bottom of the lineup here for ASU, though, if you're Connor Pollock here, you got to find a way on.
Strike in there for Olson. Gets the early jump. Chop one foul. And you're right, really what the mindset has to be now is just swinging, like being aggressive and not being afraid to, even though you're down, making a play.
Hey, you can't sit back and look at pitches at this point.
Good rip there from Halleck, just a little bit foul. Third base line. 0-2 count. Good spot to be if you're a pitcher. Here comes the 0-2 from Olson.
And Pollock just fighting, trying to stay in it. He's not one of those players that's gonna send it long. So he's trying to battle that and try to find the ball that he wants to just put in play and put in a hole.
Oh, 2 from Olson is on the way. Halleck chops it up. And the out is made. Good play there from right fielder Ian Petros.
Yeah, Petros was playing really shallow there. I think that ended up helping him. He very shallow right field starting point, which was able to get because a lot of the time that's one of those falling bloopers. It's one of those just little wrist flicks that's
Yeah.
gonna fall out there and get you a base hit, but it's you know a shallow start from right field gave him the ability to get to that ball.
Olson gets a strike on that. Moves up 0-2 again. Second batter in a row. Mason Ford trying to get something going for the Sun Devils. Take a ball.
And that one was close there too. I don't know if that's one you really want to be watching go down the pipe as you're down 0-2 in the count.
Ford will take another ball. 2-2. Give a crack at it. Foul it off and stay alive. As ASU is looking for anything right now.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
close
looked pretty
pitch.
good from our angle.
Could have been called either way for sure.
And quickly an 0-2 count. Goes to a full count for Olson. 3-2 on the way. And a walk for Ford.
Another one that was just a lot of close pitches. It
And
was
good job on Ford,
yeah,
though, being able to battle out of an 0-2.
absolutely.
Andrew Del Pizzo.
Del Pizzo's got to find a way to get the bat to the ball and get some Sun Devils moving out there on the base path.
Strike for Olson. This will be the third batter in a row if he goes 0-2. For the double play. Choose to get the out at first. And we'll have 2 outs now.
Yeah, a little bobble there. It could have been a double play. Definitely a double play opportunity, but when you
Just didn't catch it cleanly.
yeah, when you get a little bobble,
Make
it's
sure you at
easier to
least
go
get the out.
first. Yeah, get the safe one. At least make sure that you're ending with one on there and not losing both.
Not none. So we'll have a new pitcher in the game for the Lopes.
Yeah,
Tyler Soren.
Tyler Soren coming in here. Soren, as well as Olson, is just right behind him on that ERA chart, 1.86. So 2 very successful pitchers on this GCU team. Soren also is second in line on strikeouts for this team. He's got 20 this season, just behind Gordon Wind with 26. So it's, he's a very good player, very limited walks. He only has 3 on the season, so he's a good pitcher. And if you want to make sure that you keep this lead the way it is, and you don't add a little bit more, he's the guy.
The junior right-hander from Cherry Valley, California.
And he's got a lot of speed on that fastball. He's just a lot of momentum going into that ball too. Is when you have a lot of speed on your balls too, it puts more spin on it. So if you the ones that you have your curveball coming in, if you have the same level of arm angle and effort that you're putting into it, it's going to put just a little bit more spin and allow it to move a little bit more as well.
And what was your favorite pitch playing? I
To
don't know.
hit?
Did you ever pitch?
Yeah, I not a ton. I didn't pitch in high school. I pitched when I was younger, but man, I think the easy one is just to go to the fastball. I think fastball is where you're most confident. Uh, a good curveball can change a lot, and I think that's if you have you usually have your one off speed that you're the most confident in too. For me, I went more towards my curveball than I
Number
did my
39, catcher,
Change
my
up.
changeup, but it depends on every pitcher. Some people are different. Paul Skeens also he just added a sinker to his repertoire, so it'll be interesting to see. And to be a pitcher with that many pitches too under your belt,
It's
man, it's
crazy.
it's scary. It's scary to see as a hitter.
Sorensen with the early strike. Noah Osborne at the plate for ASU. And the Sun Devils do have a runner in scoring position. If Osborne can get one to fall in play, might have a chance.
Yeah, it's going to take more than one, unfortunately, though, for ASU if you're in this position. And one would help, but it's a very wide range of the lead right now to where you just put yourself in a very difficult situation to come back from.
Ball three as we head to a full count. That was a fastball, 87 miles per hour. See if Soren comes back to that fastball full count. That one's fouled out by Osborne, staying alive.
Yeah, and he went straight back at it, just as he said he was. You wonder if he would, and he did. That's 3-2 count, and it makes it to where you want to make your best pitch. And he went back to what he's comfortable with, that 87 mile per hour fastball, as he said, and went right back to it, and it hit 87 again.
And sometimes, as Osborne flies one out foul, and we've seen it now a couple times for the Sun Devils on each side. They've been really close, but haven't been able to find that nice area inside the foul line.
Yeah, there's been just a couple off the edge that have been right there. It's just a little bit of you center up your bat just a little bit on those, and it's falling in range.
And it's amazing what the angle can do. Just a little bit inside, a little bit outside to see how much that can change the trajectory of the ball. As Osborne will draw the walk, still two
number
outs
34, first
for the
baseman,
Lopes.
Vince Matty.
But it adds another on the field. You got 2 outs, but this is the time you turn your rally caps around, try to get a little 2-out rally going.
That's right. Vince Manny up to bat for Arizona State. I expect Soren to work that fastball here. Seems to like coming back to that. as he misses outside.
But he does go back to it. He's made sure that his fastball is very prominent in his at-bats.
Fouled outside by Maddie. 1-1 count.
Yeah, I wouldn't be very surprised if he just stuck fastball the rest of this at-bat too and just try to put it to him.
Some bread and butter. The 1-1 from Soren.
Did switch up there and he went to his off speed. Big difference in speed though when you go from 87 down to 69.
Almost 20-mile-per-hour
Yeah, it's
difference.
hard for a hitter to time.
Another rip by Maddie, just a tad bit late. Fouls out to the left side.
And he's sitting fastball. Matty is there. You see, those are the ones that he's swinging at. And he's set up, ready for that one to come.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss by Maddie as Soren gets a strikeout and the Lopes exit the inning.
And you saw it there too. We were talking about sitting fastball, and he just gets caught. It was one of those off-speed pitches that he's now leaning for because he already stepped, and he was looking for that fastball, and he was timed up for that one, and he ends up just kind of throwing his hands at it at the outside and doesn't get it.
So we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Grand Canyon University up 9-2
And ASU
over ASU.
ASU only having one more shot here to make it a game.
Feels kind of crazy. We had that first inning, it was 2-2. Both teams exchanging hits back and forth. And then credit once again to head coach Rich Warnell's squad here at GCU just took over from after that first inning.
Yeah, and I think 7 is just a little too deep to get in an inning. I mean, I think it's kind of just fallen out of reach for the Sun Devils at this point. And, as the way the game's been going, it looks like GCU is going to find a way to sweep this series, which they weren't able to do last year, but they did the year before. So 2 years ago, they swept this series and kept it to themselves. Last year, they win the series, only dropping one of the games. So very, very dominant GCU has been against this Sun Devil squad.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the coaching, players, the scouting. They just look like a really well put together team out here today.
Yeah, they played extremely well. Pitching has been stellar. Other than that first inning, you've been shut out. The GCU's been completely.
Yeah, they had 10 in a row.
Yeah, zeros on the board. There hasn't been a single run since that first inning for ASU, and it started out with Cascades, and he started off that first inning a little rough, and then caught his wind and continued to roll after that. And we talked about that too. We said how difficult is it going to be, and will he be able to find his step? And we said that, if he finds one inning and gets his confidence back, he'll do it. And he found that one inning. He got his confidence. He found his pitches, and he kept rolling with it and he went all the way until his last inning that he went in the 5th, and he went three up, 3 down in the 5th too.
Yeah, Cascade is very dominant in this game.
Now at third base,
Looks very confident out there, and that's what you want to see.
And Del Pizzo now finding his way on the mound
second base, number 38, Chase
for the Sun Devils.
in right field, number 27, Anthony
Del Pizzo hasn't pitched this year for the Sun Devils.
Sun Devils, number 12, right-hander Andrew Del Pizzo. Leading off the bottom of the 8th inning for Grand Canyon University, number 15, center fielder, Brady Stetson.
Del Pizzo with the first strike here. Bottom of the 8th. Steenson with a line out to center. He's going to stay at first for the single.
Yeah,
Nice
good line
job.
drive shot. Nice line drive shot out there to left center, and it was, right in that gap again.
Yeah, we've seen the Lopes being able to take advantage of that gap in between center and left. Seen a
Yeah.
couple balls flown out that way.
I think it just speaks to the timing of the pitcher. They've and the aggressiveness of this team, and they've just hit very well this game and have found the spots in the outfield, found the gaps in the infield to get through. It's just been overall just a dominant performance for their offense.
El Pizzo outside. Infield fly. No, get the double out.
Yeah, and they caught a run trying to steal there, so looks like
Steenson.
it looks like Steenson was looking to steal two, try to add another player in scoring position, and
that's one of those infield fly
yeah,
rules, right? So
infield fly. The infield fly rule is on when multiple batters are on the baseline, so you could have a runner on first and second is when that would occur, but just with one runner on, it's not gonna count on there.
Petros cracks one out.
Now he sent it to the ninth though, and it's ASU with one last chance.
We go to the ninth, 9-2.
Man, it's gonna take a miracle.
As we will go
It's gonna take a lot.
to the top of the 9th, where the Sun Devils have to have some magic happen, and we will be right back at the top of the 9th inning. Last chance for ASU in this game.
It's going to take a lot.
They'll
That's
Pizzo up to bat.
been said a lot. It's going to take a lot. It's going to have to do a lot. You found yourself down 7. With 3 outs left.
Nice pitch there from Soren. It's a good fastball right down the middle. See if he goes back to it. No, go with the off speed. For a ball, 2-1. Del Pizzo chops one out to center. Play is made, and the Lopes get the first out.
2 outs away from
2 away.
a done game, and
Number 38, second baseman Chase Jankowski.
As now you're down to 2 outs, Marshall.
yeah, 2 outs, and Soren's pitching extremely well too right now. He's finding the zone, and 2 outs, 7 runs. You're not going to get. There's not a whole lot of space for ASU to get something going.
Good take there from Jankowski. 2 balls, no strikes. Swings on it. Play is made by the shortstop.
Yeah, shallow pop
Del
fly is
Pizzo.
just not going to cut it for short, and we're down to 1 now. So you have 1 out.
27, right fielder Anthony Rivera.
GCU looking to just close this out as Ramirez comes up to bat.
Now you need a miracle.
Now Now we're wishing on the genie.
Soren has done a nice job down the stretch,
Yeah,
putting away the order.
just a few pitches away from ending this game out too.
It's good for them to know that they have a really solid closer and
Yeah.
good depth piece to have.
Yeah, they have pitched three of their best pitchers today too. So if that says anything, you went 2 games yesterday. So you've already been through your bullpen. You go back today and still have room to play, 3 of your top guys.
It's definitely a good feeling for GCU. So they are 2 strikes away
And Soren finding the zone.
from ending this one. The count 2-1. Another 86-mile-per-hour fastball. The 2-1 from Soren. Rivera's gets a hold of it, but it's fouled out to the right side and
Strike away.
strike away.
That ball there was close too, just off the
I thought it was
high side, that
Yeah.
off speed curveball kind of dropping in. It looked like it dropped at the end, right into the
full
right into the
count
zone.
for Soren. Rivera's trying to extend this game. Rivera's gets a hold of it. It's popped up high. And the play is made as the Lopes end up winning 9-2 and sweep ASU in this series, winning both games yesterday, winning today 9-2. So they take the series 3-0 and will continue their dominance next week.
Yeah, Lopes, I mean, just coming out straight, coming out hot, 3 games straight. It's not a lot you can do. And it gets hard. It gets hard when something happens like that, and you put yourself in a position where ASU did, where you go down 7. It's hard to come back, and you put that to yourself.
Well, especially when the first inning come out and get two hard-earned runs, tie the game, and ever since then, GCU just dominated, right? It was domination ever since the first inning. So great game overall, a lot of fun. Happy to call it with you, Marshall, and
Absolutely.
it's been a blast. With that being said, thanks for everyone for tuning in. We will catch you in the next one.